And I think it's important when you ask people, why do you want to change, that they dig into that. Coaching by its nature, anywhere you look, is goal-orientated. And I think that's helpful to begin with, is to ask people to pick some goals. One of the things I've experienced is I've got this first dashboard with Innersight, but I'm not sure how to convert it to a set of goals other than changing the lights. And as you rightly say, improving slightly out of the red and danger zone into greens and ambers or yellows. It doesn't fire my fear center. It doesn't fire drivers. And so coaching can be a really helpful practice in setting goals. When new leaders take jobs, I ask them about the leader they want to be known as in 12 to 18 months. And many of those things already exist for them, but some of them are aspirational. I want to be seen to move the needle, motivate people, inspire this organization, help it find purpose, make money for the shareholders, be seen as somebody who's trustworthy or is making an impact. But you have to work at those things. And then you rightly really talked about relationships. A coach gives you some support and accountability. But if we're thinking systemically, it's not enough that you have one person, your healthcare practitioner or a coach, or like you got 2 or 3, and maybe a therapist or a psychiatrist or a dietitian. The more people you build around you in a network of support and accountability, the more likely you are to change. And I think we live quite isolated lives, if I'm honest. The greatest complaint I hear from entrepreneurs and executives is loneliness. It isn't not solving problems or not being smart enough to see what's in front of them. It's that our jobs and our high-pressure lives generally isolate us. And when you get isolated, it's very hard to make a change. There's a question you sent me, can people change? And the answer is probably not. Definitely not alone. And so I think it's helpful to think when you want to change about who you're roping into this change and who you're using to help you go somewhere, and be clear about where it is that you're going, not just, I want to be better. I do love the jokes have helped me think about being 80. Thank you.
And I think, so you build, I like that you build enough people that will tell you and be honest with you and say, you said that you're going to do, but you're not doing it. But I also like the other part of what you do. And my disclaimer here is that I've been on your journey that you take people to unplug. And that's quite difficult to do these days as well. To unplug completely, that you don't have a phone, that you don't do anything for, let's say, a whole day even. I mean, we did it for a few days, that we went to the Kruger and walked supported, but not with any vehicles or anything. And I found that profound, to be outside in nature and just you. You had to be with you. And I think there's a lot of people that are lonely in themselves because they're chasing everything around them all the time, but they don't have time to just be you. And that was quite interesting that you saw that people have to be comfortable with themselves and nature. Otherwise, you're just scrolling the phone. And I think that's what teenagers do these days. They can't just sit still, flip up the phone. And if you look on a bus or anywhere, I mean, you don't see people's faces anymore. So people are not comfortable with themselves and in a society, I think. And that's interesting why people could be lonely. But so I have to give you that, to unplug people. And you've got these seminars, I don't want to call them seminars, almost journeys. That you do. And if any one of you get to do one of Graham's journeys, that was amazing, I must say.
Yeah, thanks, Rudy. I think the thing that was interesting for me was, as a youngster, I had the privilege of being exposed to wild places, and there's a real deep interest and connection there. Later on in life, when I learned how people are built and wired and what our biology looks like, I realized that one of the things that happens to us in this busy all over life, chasing outcomes and raising kids and doing what you need to do, is that so few of us really understand our biology. And I'm sitting opposite 2 experts in our human biology, but if you were to check the number of clients who arrive at your doorstep who understand anything about their nervous system or their physiology, I think you'd find it quite low. And so we've forgotten how to be and switch our nervous system off. Yes, we have some of the modern ways of doing it. We understand cold plunge and we understand exercise and we understand meditation. But broadly, people are short of information. And when you're short of information, your decision-making is compromised. And so those journeys, yes, are to wild places and detached from technology. But what people start to learn is that their nervous system, after a day and a half, they feel like different humans. I think nature helps. But if you can find a way to start experimenting and thinking about your nervous system and how you respond to things and how you navigate day-to-day thinking and decision-making, I think you'll be a whole lot better off. Broadly, people don't know how to become resilient or manage stress because they have no base knowledge. We don't teach it at school. Unless you go and study medicine or a medical degree, nobody teaches you about these things. They don't teach it at university to young professionals. They don't teach it to you when you walk into the workplace. So I think we have a real crisis on our hands. And Sean, to your point, this is maybe why the medical profession is struggling, because we have not done enough to help people educate, even in this modern day.